So we're here with Alan in Augusta, Kansas, where Alan's dog was just shot. How long ago did this happen?
It happened around 2 p.m.
So just hours ago, earlier today, by Augusta city officials, well, police, and we're going to let Alan kind of tell what happened today with this whole situation.
So Midnite was my service dog for PTSD, anxiety, depression. Ever since I've had him, I never had any emotional breakdowns, except for today, obviously. I've had him for a year and a half. He was about 5 years old, and full of life. What happened was he darted out my door, chasing a rabbit, a cat, whatever it was, and ran down the road to the neighbor's house. He ran faster than I did, obviously. I heard a little dog barking, screeching, whatever, and so I was hollering at his name. And by the time I got to this house, he had already came back around and was coming back towards me. And so I led him over here to the house, and immediately I went back over there to the house where he was at. And I was talking to the dog's owner, and she was holding the dog and petting it. What happened, basically, in my opinion, was Midnite liked to play with dogs, the small dogs, because my mom owns a small dog, a Pekingese, and he would like hover over her and like place his paw on her head, just playing, and of course that's how they played. So in my opinion, what happened is that's what he was doing on the porch. When I went over there to talk to this lady, I asked her what she witnessed, and I asked her where she was at. She was sitting inside of her house, looking out the door on the porch at her dog, and noticed my dog come up there. I said, well, what did my dog do? She said he was just on top, or over top of her dog. And I said, well, was he attacking your dog? Was he biting or anything? No, she said, no, he wasn't. I said, okay, well, and you're sure your dog is okay? There's no bites, nothing, and there was no blood that I had noticed, and she was like petting a dog, and the dog was emotionally upset, you could tell. I said, okay, well, I apologize. Generally, he doesn't do this, but apparently, he must have seen a cat or something. He loved chasing cats. But anyway, so I came back home, and a couple hours later, I was out working in the backyard, and I had to use the restroom, so I came inside. My mom lives here as well. She's disabled, has part of her leg missing. She was in her room taking a shower. I was in my front room, or the front bathroom rather, and I was excusing myself. Anyway, all of a sudden I heard banging on my door, and then all of a sudden I heard shots, and then I heard my dog yelping. And so immediately I came running out the door, and I'm wanting to know. I was wanting to know what was going on, so I hollered at the cop that was out there on my sidewalk, pointing his gun at me, or towards the house rather, at me, whatever, I don't know. I said, why did you shoot my dog? What are you guys doing here? And he tells me to get on the ground. I said a few choice words. I ran back in my house and I slammed the door.
Which, to be clear, right after shooting the dog, they then pointed the gun at Alan here after he came out to just see what happened to his dog. Just kind of wanted that part to be clear.
Right. So I was on the phone. I don't recall with who, but I was not talking in a very low tone because I was very irate and angry by them. And the phone call ended, and then immediately there's a private call coming through my phone. I knew it was them because they always call that way, but so I answered it and said he was Captain whoever of the police department and wanted me to come outside and talk to him. I told him no, I wasn't going to, because in the meantime I'd looked out the window and I'd noticed there was other cops surrounding my house with guns pointing at my house. So I was like, no, I'm not going to come out there. Well, after a few minutes of arguing with him, finally I said, okay, here's what you can do. You can tell all your little cops to go home, wherever, just get out of here and quit shining their guns at me, because I'm not going to open my door with them doing that. And he said, well, they got to be here for a reason. I was like, what reason? I didn't do nothing. You guys just shot my damn dog. Well, anyway, I said, you come up here on my porch. I will open my door, but only you. And you better tell all you other people to leave. Because if I see anybody pointing their gun at me, I'm just going to close the door back. I ain't going to talk to you. So eventually, that's what happened. And then he wanted me to come out to the driveway. I was like, no. You want to talk to me, you come up here on my porch. Well, then he's like, well, how do I know you don't have a gun? I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Do you see my hands? I don't have no gun. So anyway, the investigation went on, and basically I need a break right now.
So that, for the most part, sums up everything that went on here. What's going on now is that they do have Midnite, correct?
Yes, he's at the Augusta Animal Clinic.
They have Midnite right now, and
they're going to cremate him tomorrow.
They gave Alan the option of them taking him and cremating him, or him burying it, and there really wasn't area to bury Midnite around here. So what's going on now is probably tomorrow we will have an article coming out with this, and we'll get some stuff set up in the background for Alan to help raise up some of the money to get Midnite's ashes once they do finish cremating. And if, real quick, I do want to show, can you get her to come over?
Amy, come here. Come here, baby.
You see?
Amy, come here.
That's who he played with all the time.
That's...
Amy, go see Alan. Go over there, honey.
The reason why I wanted to show that is that was Midnite's other dog.
His so-called girlfriend.
This was Midnite's girlfriend, so this is a service dog that's lived with a small dog. So that just kind of gives you an idea of what could have possibly went on with this other small dog, and gives a better idea of what Alan meant with playing with the dog and doing the pushover thing. I used to own a German Shepherd Husky. I know exactly what you're talking about with the pushing with the paw.
He said it was a service dog.
And he was a service dog. And actually was a service dog for both Alan and Alan's mother. So, like I said, tomorrow we will get an article out. We'll figure out some ways to help Alan out with making sure that he gets the ashes of his dog back, and we'll basically keep you guys informed on this. If there's anything else that you want to say, you can, or we can.
I don't think I have anything to say.
Well, guys, thank you for watching. Share the video out. This was once again, Augusta, Kansas, Augusta PD, and we'll have more information coming out on that probably tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon-ish.